We did it. It's another Thursday. We've had another Survivor. We are back together again. So I have a question for all you guys.
Yeah.
They got some fishes. If you
Big fish.
if you could pick the fish that would be left for you at camp, what is your favorite fish? Just real quick. Everyone around the horn.
Ooh.
Okay,
I'd
Natalie
go with like a
looks
Chinook salmon.
Black
Natalie,
cod.
which one?
Black cod. My
Black.
best meal I've ever had was miso glazed black cod.
Okay.
And
okay,
then
Greg looked like he had something. Greg, what's yours?
I'd definitely go with a Chinook salmon or some sort of salmon from the Pacific Northwest.
Represent.
Oregon boy. Okay. Here's our corn girl.
Oh no. I grew up in Nebraska and I grew up on fish and chips for our fish fries every Friday during Lent. So I'm gonna go. I want it fried and I want that sauce on the side. Okay.
A white fish.
Yeah.
Like
You
a
know what?
cod.
Dirty.
You know, Bailey, I'm with you. I would totally go cod. I know everyone like salmon's supposed to be so good for you and stuff like that. But I'm not a salmon guy.
I'll make you
you're
some.
also wrong, but that's okay.
Wrong.
I
So
love salmon too.
The correct answer tonight was cod, though. The correct answer.
Salmon's
Oh.
like an everyday
Shoot.
fish. I'm gonna go
I should
with
have studied.
for like.
I didn't realize we'd be taking a test.
I know. I was like quickly Googling like fish. I'm like, wait, no, how do I like it? I like it fried
Okay, those
and dirty
fish
and
were
with French
weird
fries.
looking.
Fingers.
Did you notice that? And then Jonathan's like,
Well,
this
we're
is
very
actually a this,
colorful.
and this is this.
Yeah. She was like, that's a mahi-mahi. And he's like, no, that's a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Fish
What?
I've never
He
heard of.
fascinates me. I love
Yeah.
that man. I am into him.
The
we
Jonathan
all make
a
fan.
point.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Hold on. Where is he, guys? So we got to get started with Captain Lock Knees himself. Where is he?
Captain Lock.
Lock those
Yeah.
knees.
Lock those
There
knees
he
and
is.
bend forward. There he is.
If there's a way to play that video, like a quick video, I want that slow mo from episode 3 of him flipping his hair back. Like that
He has
should
like
be the one.
He has the upper abs, but doesn't have like the lower midsection abs. Like that's kind of interesting to me. Not that I have any abs to share, but I shouldn't be commenting on other people's abs. I don't think
It's Survivor. He's walking around shirtless. What are you gonna do?
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I watch.
We got a lot of love for cod and salmon in the house tonight.
Got some halibut.
And I bet
Oh,
a lot of
halibut.
our friends
Flannel.
weren't expecting to talk about fish tonight. So
Very
hey guys.
strong.
Also, we're getting our little channel up and going, and so one of the things that really helps is a moderator. So aside from the 4 of us who I already like assigned to this, a special thank you to Annika for being our first moderator to help us out. So tonight, if you say anything I don't like, I'm gonna shoot Annika a look, and she's gonna dump you. No, I'm kidding.
That's how it works.
So thank you guys. Let's kick things off. So we had an exciting episode this week. What do you guys think?
Good. Well, I was very excited to get back to camp after that tribal council last week. I just couldn't wait to see the shit go down and how Daniel would weasel his way out of the mess he created. And it was very interesting.
Off the bat.
Yeah.
It was
He's like shutting conversations down. Just like, hey, let's not talk about it. Let's just go to bed. Let's just go to bed.
another like weasel maneuver, by the way. Like, let
Oh
me.
my
I'm
God.
glad Chanel called him out. Like that needed to happen. Like because everyone else was feeling, that kind of adrenaline, but also like super bummed out. That was one of the strangest tribal councils.
It really was.
Well-
And I think Hai summed it up. He said everybody got blindsided that night.
Yeah.
Every single person.
Yeah, well,
Who
I think
didn't? Yeah.
Hai really summed it up when he said that man has no backbone.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know
That
what?
was-
I had forgotten, guys, because it said law clerk, but they were like, he's a lawyer. Like, I just forget the terminology and stuff, but like, he's totally putting on a performance. He was playing the nice, shy guy, aw shucks, and then he turned out he's a weasel. Yeah, vintage optimism. Here we go. Total weasel, but a charming one, which disturbs
Exactly.
me, right? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like smiling while he's pushing the knife in. Like,
And he knows that if you can't talk, you can't win. If you can't get your story out there, then he's winning. And
Yeah.
that's how you do it in the like court of law, right?
You can only bring up in the closing arguments that which was brought up in the trial. So if you keep it out of the court and it's not in the record, it never happened.
So let's just go to bed. Let's just go to bed, guys. Huh?
Yeah.
I don't know how many times Greg has said that to me.
Yeah.
You know what though? It is interesting. I am kind of on Daniel's side. He's a weasel, yes. He's also playing Survivor. But listen, hear me out. Chanel admitted in her sidebar with the producers that, yeah, she is the one who put Lydia's name down first and proposed it, and she's lying about it, and she's going to take it to her grave as far as this season is concerned.
She didn't have a vote, right? She just suggested to everyone.
Right. I meant was threw it out like in the ring of
and then she's like, don't call me out. Like, poor play, buddy.
Yeah.
She's ready to fight, which I like.
Right.
I definitely gained some respect for Chanel. But
Chanel's definitely not innocent though. Like she even like admitted to it, and she's kind of brushing it under the rug too, but like in a very different way that Daniel's doing it, which means everyone knows about Daniel's moves. Like no one knows what's going on with Chanel so much.
Right.
Well, and it's funny because at the same time, I'm totally mad at Daniel. He is playing Survivor. I have to remind myself that it's like you do have to play people. You do have to convince people that you're doing these moves and those moves. And he did luck out this time where he was in a position of power. But as we've seen in other Survivors, sometimes the position of power makes you first on the list for on the target list.
Yeah.
So it's I think High is the one who actually played it smart because he came off as the genuine sweet guy who also was like, I took a moral stand. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, you can't fold.
And he said he knew that Daniel would fold. Remember last week when I was like, he knew that as soon as Daniel said, we're not going to rocks, he had the upper hand.
And
so
that's
he's like,
what he
okay,
said. Yeah.
I'm set.
That was just brilliant. And to be able to like think on your feet and just like in that moment, just into it, like, all right, he already played his whole hand. He doesn't want to go to rocks. So I'll just say I'll go to rocks before I'll vote for Lydia.
I should put this up because Greg's helping us step up our game. So we've got some graphics for our tribes, and we've got our current tribes. Boom! Oh, Jenny.
Sorry, Jenny's gone.
Oh, I loved her.
And we haven't talked about Mike yet. He was very disappointed, like a dad would be, that Daniel screwed him over, and he's like, he lost my trust.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that's a guy you can get your trust back with.
Yeah.
No.
I love the bond that's forming with High and Mike though so far. You're getting just like these little nuggets right now, but like they're gonna become the power couple for sure.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is Mike gave the classic kind of the vibe of I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Oh.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I like that the kumbaya's over and now it's a holy crap-aya. Not even clever, but it was funny.
Definitely. Well, then they go to the rewards challenge, right? And this was the first rewards challenge that we've had. It wasn't immunity. I was like checking to make sure that there wasn't a snake eating itself in a circle. And it was one of the more challenging ones, to be honest. Those rope ones, not my thing. Maybe that's just because I'm giant, but then again, Jonathan's giant, and he handled it like he was like a contortionist.
Yeah, let's take a look at who our current tribes are at this point. So over in Vati, we saw Vati.
Yeah, they all show up. Just like this is the new Vati.
Here's Taku, and here's our current Taku. So that's who showed up to play on Taku's side. On Ika's
Power
side,
Taku.
We've got
Power Taku.
Sounded like tacos. You're making me hungry.
I know.
All right, go on.
Power Takus.
Here's Ika. And
My boy Zach. Gosh, let me down.
And then, of course, Vati. So what did you guys think of this rewards challenge? What was up? Well, first of all, what was the reward? What's up for grabs?
Well, I thought they said 6 fish, but it was like 10 fish. And they were big fish, which is great. And I wonder If they threw it in because people weren't catching fish, or there's some sort of dry spell where they're like, these people need to eat, we need to like add that in or something.
Yeah. So yeah, the rope challenge, I could see that if you get in a rhythm, you can go fast, but the only tribe that got in a rhythm was Taku, and I think it is because Jonathan took the lead of kind of
Well, guys, before we go into the minutia of it, Greg, what was the challenge? Just kind of overall, like what was the challenge?
All right, so they're starting at one end. They have their little like survivor belts on with like a hook and a loop, and then they have their loop over like 100 feet of cord, and all the cords have been nicely braided by some production assistant that I'm sure was out there for like 2 days, wrapping them over and under logs and like in these weird knots and all that kind of stuff. So they have to get all the way through that, and then once they get through that, their loop becomes free, right? And then one or two of them have to throw that, pull the sled, and then that releases the puzzle pieces, so then they can go. Or what? That wasn't a puzzle piece, was it? No. What was it, Natalie?
it was the balls into
That's
the
right.
basket.
The basketball hoop, and then it made it look like, I mean, we won't get all the way that far, but I've never seen people make the balls in the hoop that fast.
So quickly.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, it was one where, yes, Jonathan is strong and he pulled the sled with the balls quickly, but it wasn't one that would naturally play to his strengths, I didn't think. So I was surprised at how well they did.
With his finesse. You saw everyone else was like running around at the beginning, right? And there was like so much movement, and everyone was like, oh, we got to go this, and then they're all in knots. Meanwhile, Jonathan is standing in one place. One person is going back and forth, and he's just lifting them up over. Granted, he has a height advantage, but still, to your point, he wasn't even using muscle at that point. It was all just like calm, cool, collected, and ready to compete.
I mean, it was a living puzzle, and so he was. It was more of like a mechanic's mind more than a meathead. It was strength didn't matter in this, and it had nothing to do with strength with what he was doing. Sure, he had a height advantage, but anyone could have lifted ropes over another human.
Totally.
And they could have bent down. So everyone, especially once they were going with such speed, you would think one of the other tribes would look over and go, what the hell are they doing? And just start to emulate it. Like, but no one did. They all just did their kind of Benny Hill kind of crazy, like jumping around and getting tangled up and stuff. And they were just like, it almost looked like they had done it before. They did it with such precision.
Yeah. That was what Jeff said. Jeff even said it's as if Taku has been practicing this for months, because they just skated right by and just waved to the other tribes.
Right. And tossing the balls, that's not like I really feel like this was an equally distributed win.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Jonathan carried them this time.
And they were taking turns. I don't know if they had to, but
they did.
Did they have to?
Toss a ball. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Marianne on the first try got her ball into the hoop.
Right.
And then celebrated like she won the Super Bowl.
I mean, you would too, right? Your adrenaline's way higher at that point.
I guess if I was married.
I don't know if I would want to see Marianne win the Super Bowl if that's her reaction to something.
Yeah, I think she would physically rip her face off screen.
Yeah. She would just burst into confetti and
spontaneous combustion.
So they get back to tribe and they see that they have these 10 fish that are much, much larger than anticipated. Marianne even made a comment like, I don't know how Jeff's eating, but he's eating good because these fish are huge. But I'll rewind for a second though. At the end of the reward challenge, Jeff asks, why are you guys so good? What's going on here?
Oh yeah.
And Jonathan makes a comment and basically just spills their secret sauce and says, yo, we're super close.
Right. We're tight.
Yeah. Which is not good.
The problem with that though. What's the problem with that? Of course they're close.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
because
fair.
Going into the merge, that looks like a power 4.
Yeah.
And then they're going to get picked apart. And Jonathan will be the first to go because he's the meat shield.
Mm-hmm.
Marianne was looking at him and looking at the others when he said that, like, why are you saying this? Like, don't, And there was just a vibe about it. Okay. Not a vibe at the tribe, but a vibe at that portion.
Yeah.
All right.
So
But yeah, it was a weird thing, wasn't it, Bailey?
yeah, it was super. Everyone was super mad. Well, Marianne and Omar were frustrated. Lindsay and Jonathan are even seen talking when they're kind of laying around at the campsite. And Lindsay even made a comment like, "No, you're fine. Like, don't worry about it, Jonathan." Like, because he said like, "Oh, people are mad at me," and so, and they are. They're a little frustrated. And then it shoots over to Rockstroy with the Vati tribe.
Right. Ika tribe.
And Rockstroy's coaching Romeo, and Romeo is like just leaning into it so hard.
Oh yeah, but
What do you guys
internally
think about
hating it. And let's remember, Rocksroy sat the first thing out. So like, don't come in like a coach after you've been like sitting out of a challenge.
Yeah.
Well, and especially like these are such bizarre challenges. It's not like, oh, you guys played baseball. I threw college baseball. I can tell you some stuff. It's like, what, did you braid rope and put it on your belt and jump around at home? Like, do you have some braided rope tricks to share? Like, calm down, buddy.
Right. And then it's kind of shows like these different twosomes kind of chatting. So this is kind of where it all starts to get a little messy. Swathi's gets an alliance with Tori. There's a snapshot of Swathi and Tori, like a back shot, like, "You're my number one, got you, girl." And then Tori goes to Rockstroy and says, "Hey, I want to be in alliance with you." And then Rockstroy says off camera in his confessional, "No, I don't trust Tori." So I'm like, what is going on here? I was like literally drawing like a map on my notes.
It's like a spider web.
Yeah, it definitely of all the tribes this week, that was definitely the tribe that like just was dripping with desperation.
Yes.
Like everyone's clinging to each other, trying to like make alliances and stuff. But going back a tiny bit to the Romeo and Rocksroy thing that we kind of open with when we go to the tribe, Rocksroy just like telling him what to do on every single thing, and Romeo just kind of going, "I got to sit and eat it because I don't want to rock the boat," you know? So the poor guy's just sitting there going, "All right, okay.
Whatever you say,
like,
coach."
And he's like, "Show montage." And then they do.
Yes.
I love when they kind of break that wall down a little bit.
Yeah.
It's great.
Unreal. I mean, Rocksroy is, for me at least, and I'll just speak for me on this, definitely cementing himself as someone unlikable. I don't like Rocksroy. And you know what's funny is first episode when I asked everyone to pick who they thought could go all the way, when he was first introduced, I thought he might be the one I pick. And then like quickly flipped and was like annoying.
Yeah.
And bossy and a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Does anyone here like Rocksroy? No? Anyone in the comments? Comment if you like Rocksroy.
Did you? Okay, so one thing that I always pick up on, and I don't know if there's, and I'm trying to like pay a little bit more attention, but before they cut to Swati, they had a picture or a little video of a crab like going across, and then they cut to a person. Later on, I noticed that it was a different animal. It was a spider, but it's always interesting when they like kind of lead with that and kind of develop these like character traits, and then like with some sort of animal, and then they go to that person. I was kind of wondering what the crab deal was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like sidestepping, like she just kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe someone was walking kind of saddle sore.
Maybe it's Jonathan's knock knees. Can't really walk right.
Okay. Yeah.
So this web is a weaving. It is going.
Yeah.
So
We're rebraiding the rope.
Yes. We're rebraiding the rope, and then we're just kind of like going like this all over.
Yes.
And
go ahead.
Yeah.
And we're getting ready for the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows it. We've done the reward. Next is the immunity challenge. And quite frankly, like they don't have much time after that immunity challenge to really
didn't feel like it.
A who's going to go. So they're, they showed us, Ika at least, doing a lot of their planning in case they lose kind of thing. Which is always interesting though, because then the challenge happens and they blame it on them or something, and they run back and they've got to reevaluate everything that they just decided before
Right.
they went to the immunity challenge. So this immunity challenge, I gotta say, Survivor loves the puzzles. I didn't realize how much
And the rope.
Oh yeah.
loves
Oh, yeah.
puzzles, and they love rope. This one, Greg, what was this challenge? Like kind of the major beats of it.
Okay, well, I mean, if we're looking at it from Jonathan's perspective, which seems like that's what all of these challenges are, it's basically you have to pull a boat, and then there's another person that's trying to pull a boat, but you're pulling that person also.
On a
apparently.
normal tribe, 2 people are pulling a boat. We'll get
Then
to
what, Natalie?
We'll get to the Jonathan effect. But yeah, so, two
So
people
in the
pull
boat
a
are the two other tribe members that are
that are
participating.
that are like kind of touching the water just a little bit. I don't know if you noticed that. Lydia was like struggling. Oh, first they had to jump and get the keys, right?
Yeah,
No,
they
no,
have to. So
pull the boat.
the sequence
From
is
the plant. Yeah.
the boat. Somebody pulls a boat carrying 2 team members to a platform, and then you have
That's
to
right.
climb a ladder to get to the platform, and
That's
then
right.
jump off the platform to get the key, and then pull the boat some more to the finish line.
Now the
Unlock
unlock a thing,
to get the
and
puzzle.
then the puzzles there. The challenge was you had to rotate people who did the jump for the key,
Mhm.
Right.
which
Just
will
like the
come
hoop
into
earlier.
play, which will come into play in a little bit with
Mhm.
one
Yeah.
particular member who did not get a lot of air.
Somebody does not
No.
know basketball.
I haven't felt that awkward watching a scene in a while.
She on Twitter,
It
Lydia
was
said,
just-
"I'm trying to normalize doing bad at
Yeah.
challenges."
She's
was
doing
like,
a great job if that's
okay.
her goal.
Mission accomplished.
That's
She's
painful.
she's kind of a dud in general, but yeah.
But she did do well on the puzzle.
Yeah, she's great at
Okay.
puzzles.
Okay.
Was she going for first place though?
Yeah, she's a big participation ribbon kind of
So
gal.
off the bat, then we had the swimming, as
Right.
Greg was alluding to. Jonathan just tore it up. I mean, it was
He's like a killer
cartoon.
whale.
Yeah, it's like cartoon. His boat's just screaming along.
Yeah, it like
The other
front of
boat, his boat's
the-
bouncing in the back, catching air. Marianne, I don't know why she chose to be the other swimmer. She's
Yeah.
holding on for dear life as this tidal wave drags
literally
her along.
she's in the wake. She's like a water skier behind this boat.
And the funny thing was, their boat was like straight.
Oh yeah.
Everyone else was like,
Yeah.
They should have put isn't Omar probably the lightest person of the 4? It's like Jonathan,
Yeah.
Marianne, Lindsay, Omar. Throw Omar in because then he just it's lighter.
Into less drag. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Maybe. Yeah.
Also,
Like,
keep in
Jonathan,
mind that
you're a power
rope was
swimmer.
tied to their feet, which is a crucial.
gosh,
Yeah, it
was
was
it really?
the first challenge. The reward challenge was tied to their waist, and
Yeah.
this one, then they had to go under the poles and stuff. This one was tied to their feet, which
Brutal.
no.
was it? I thought they were wearing like a sash. I thought I saw Marianne and Jonathan wearing a sash with the rope
Yeah.
attached.
Oh, am I spreading fake news? Oh no.
Yeah, I think swimming. I think
You
considering that your legs are 2 very important of the
Totally.
4 limbs you need to swim, I don't think CBS would be tying down one of your legs.
I just
Well,
would have
and
sworn one
Jonathan's
was on
swimming
their
form
foot.
was insane.
Bailey's like, just keep in mind, there's 2 hooks in their mouths.
Yeah.
They've got to swim
Yeah.
like a seahorse.
They pierced them.
Aaron's
I'm so
confirming they had a
sorry,
sash.
Yeah,
Okay.
here, let me pull up some. I have to jump back and forth with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So then
So,
they get to the
Not only
platform
did
and they're
Lydia
jumping, right?
miss
Okay.
the key a couple times, but also Omar got his key and then lost it in the water.
Yeah. It's painful. Painful.
Yeah.
Well, and I love too that as he swam for it, it's kind of like that old clown routine where the clown keeps kicking the hat and walking for it and kicking the hat. He was swimming, he was like stroking by
Pushing it.
pushing the key forward.
Yeah.
And then
And
swimming.
Jeff's calling him on
It
it.
was amazing.
I wonder if some of that has to do with a little bit of panic. You're not thinking. You're just trying to do the best you can.
Yeah.
And your mom's out there like, you're doing great, sweetie. And he's just like, I don't know if I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Probst is like aquatic idiocy going on
Yes.
right now. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in the waters.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So then they get to the puzzle, which
Mhm.
Okay, of the puzzles I've seen so far, one of my favorite because it looked like a fish hanging.
It was
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
really
so cool.
pretty puzzle.
So they bust out some cool puzzles. But yeah, I mean, this was one of those times, it's so frustrating when a team has a lead and then they come to do the puzzle and they completely lose the lead because
Mhm.
the people are just like, taking the puzzle pieces and just kind of banging them together.
Yeah.
But to their credit, as soon as they launched into it, they kept their lead. They worked that puzzle. They took advantage of the lead they had. So, I mean, kudos to them. Where's my taco?
So I have a question about that. Something I've always wondered. I guess it's the way that I work. If I was to be doing a puzzle, I'd want to like do it on a flat surface. Like, do they have to build it vertically?
They actually did. I saw
Because
them.
there was like a couple
they actually
pieces.
put it up.
I saw there was a couple pieces that they like kind of finagled onto it. But it seems like that would have worked a lot better for this particular one.
Yeah.
Because there was times when like one person was holding one thing and then they were holding another, and then they had to somehow I'm like, just build it on that little barrel thing and then bring it up there. Like, is that not an option?
Some of it looked like to me it would have been hard to actually.
The way that they were like hooking, it like relied on it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some of the pieces actually kind of needed gravity almost to like.
That's true.
They were like holding like tension, like parts of it and stuff.
Yeah. And you would hate to put it all together and then
And it falls.
go to pick it up and
Oh
it
my
falls
God.
apart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That's
that'd
all
be
I
bad.
kept thinking when you said that. I'm like picking it up though. Like you'd have to like drag it and like what if?
Yeah, I
what if?
wouldn't. Yeah, I'd second it.
And it falls in the water, and then Omar goes in for it, and then he's just pushing the pieces out into the ocean.
Yeah, and the water's
Now we
like
know.
30 yards away. Somehow he's still in the water.
If Greg and Annika were on a tribe together, all of a sudden from out of nowhere, a card table would come out. And they would start building the puzzle on their card table on their flat surface.
Does everybody else, like especially in the chat, do you like put yourself in the mindset of these people doing the challenges, or is it just entertaining? Like I'm constantly thinking like, that's how I do it. This is what I do. That's like
Yeah.
normal, right?
I think the
Yeah.
same way, Greg.
Absolutely.
No,
Yeah.
I put myself in Jeff Probst's shoes and I just go, ew, look at you stinky people. That's what I do the whole time. I imagine myself being clean, well fed,
Yeah.
my new Nikes,
Yeah.
just going, ugh. Look, you guys will do anything for this handful of rice. And I rumble it into the water and feed the fish.
I think I would have been the Lydia on this one. I would have maybe not been able to jump up and get the key, but I would do great at the puzzle.
Yeah, let's talk about the two
Oh.
other tribes. So Vati obviously Taku obviously takes it away, like
For like
smokes
an
the
hour.
game,
They're
but
like,
this
yeah.
is an
Yeah.
immunity challenge. So there is a second place winner. So Taku and Ika are left, and we saw some struggles from Lydia trying to get the key. Chanel comes in when it's her turn, snatches the keys, swim to the platform, and then they catch up. This part to me was like insanity.
Yeah.
I think it was Lydia doing the little side paddle. Like I don't know if you saw that, but she was like barely touching the water. And I was like,
Oh, yeah,
that's-
and on
that's
the
making a
initial,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell their boat was traveling about 3 fingertips faster than the other boat. And I think that easily made, a total of an extra 3 inches or so. When
Yeah,
all
I guess you're right.
It
You're
all
right. Yeah.
counts. Yeah. Those puzzles looked sloppy, though. I actually made a note that Chanel and Lydia were doing terrible at the puzzle, but then ultimately Vati won.
They
Yeah.
figured it out.
They won immunity first. So
Yeah.
clearly they did something right because they weren't even the first at the finish line.
Yeah.
Taku was.
No.
Chanel came in for the win for me. Like she snatched the key, 2 different keys. She technically got both of the keys.
Right.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she got to the puzzle, she was like at least directing. Like you could kind of tell Lydia was just like along for the ride. And Chanel was like, no, and on her knees, like banging the puzzle together. And like, I don't know, she put in work, and I was team
Yeah.
Chanel for sure on this challenge.
Yeah.
I think she gets credit for it.
For sure.
One thing I noticed was at least 2 tribes were like closing the box, the lid to the box that the puzzle pieces were in, because I kept seeing them like open the box again. I was like, why are you closing it? You're wasting time.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand what that was.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't.
And then they had to open it to get the fins out and the pokey things or whatever those. Yeah.
He's telling you to keep things tidy. Just keep it open. You got to go back in there.
Yeah.
Shut the box.
Yeah, that the last what was it was like 30 seconds. I mean, it came down to the seconds. Like they were like pounding them in.
Yeah.
I was nervous.
It's like an alignment issue.
Yeah.
Pegs weren't fitting in the holes.
Lydia, not a leader. I agree with that.
Aaron, that's right.
Yeah,
But
Aaron.
honestly, I think Lydia's kind of a good person to just keep around because she's not gonna win. I mean, I don't think she's gonna win. She's just there, you know.
Could be the tortoise and the hare, though.
Yeah.
Dude,
Okay.
episode 1, she's like, ew, there's sand everywhere. I'm like, get off this show.
Get out
You
of
lost
here.
me.
You know how many people that applied for this show are just like rolling their eyes and like
I love
I don't
it.
like
when they
sand.
hear that.
Yeah. Come on.
This is too islandy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So then Vati wins, Taku wins. That means Aika's going to tribal.
Ika. Let me
now
find
we
it.
gotta start scheming.
Yeah, where's my
And
Now
we
the
gotta
web
start
comes
picking our
down.
number ones.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's kind of what we titled the show after because Swathi apparently went around and her favorite saying was, hey, you're my number one. You know that, right? And just like we got the funny Romeo and Roxroy montage, we got the you're my number one montage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the cut in between that, the different tribe members revealing to each other that they told her that. So
Yes.
Yes.
It's funny. If I were to watch episode 1, 2, and 3 right now, I wouldn't have noticed that she was doing that because she's been kind of quiet. Like she's just been kind of hanging. And all of a sudden in this episode, the montage doesn't hurt. But when you see that, you're like, oh wait, you are doing that. Oh wait, that is a little sketchy. What are you doing, girl?
Yeah. As soon as she got all that TV time, I was like, she's gone.
Yeah.
This is it. Do
Well, I did appreciate
Josh and Natalie, do you
Go
guys
ahead.
tell your kids they're your number one? Like, do you kind of
Number
let
one
one
and
know? Yeah. Okay.
we're not there yet. We can always pull out the you're my favorite son, you're my favorite daughter.
That's a
So,
good point.
yeah.
I tell Wally all the time, of all my sons, he's my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't think it quite clicks with him. Like sometimes he'll go, I'm your only son. And I'm like,
Okay. That's pretty smart.
Nice.
Yeah.
yeah, but I think with this, I was thinking about her and I was like, she strikes me as someone who's an innocent person in real life, probably. And she tried to play a sneaky game in the most amateur way possible.
Yeah.
And so it's not like I didn't leave going, I don't like this person. And this
No.
guy just went, I pity you.
Honestly, you said that perfectly. I couldn't that was so perfect. That's true.
Yeah.
I think
And
she's kind of more of
she's
a
she's going to
theoretical player.
Harvard.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's a book smart person.
Yes.
So when you apply that stuff to actually, doing it in person, it's completely different because there's so many dynamics that come into play that you couldn't have imagined. So this idea that you're thinking, I'm going to go be on Survivor. I'm going to tell everyone they're my number one. Cool. That sounds great, like in your head. But then once you get there and you realize that you're not, it's an ego thing. It's like, you're not the only one playing. They're all playing too. And they're going to talk to each other. And if you're not actually their number one, they're going to tell their number one that you told them that you're their number one.
Well, and that's just it too. It didn't, she wasn't in a position where everyone had to tell each other. Just one person had to tell another. Just that already was a chink in the armor. You know what I mean? Like if two people told each other, what? She told me. And then it's like, oh, we, the house card is crumbling. So I tried to play the innocent young girl this episode. She wanted to establish herself as a leader, and that backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Aaron thinks she actually was a little more conniving. I think she was a little more innocent on it, but maybe she played me.
It's like the player at the club that has like 4 girls, out on the dance floor, and then they all at the same time run into each other.
Happens to me every weekend.
Yeah. This played right into Tori's game, though. because Tori was on the
Totally.
outs.
Yes.
And
Oh,
this
yeah.
makes her, she's right back in now.
But I like how she even admitted too. I think it was like about Roxroy or whatever. She was like, "Don't like the guy, but I'm his buddy now." You know what I mean? She's like,
I have to
Yeah.
I have to appreciate that a little bit. Like she's owning it. And like let's also keep in mind everyone still thinks she's like a school teacher or something, and she's totally not.
Right.
She's a therapist and works with these kind of situations all the time. And so
Yeah, she pulled out some therapist lingo this episode.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, it was
Roxroy's
good.
a narcissist, and then something else about somebody else. Yeah.
Well, and then Drea is like, if this was my job and someone was messing with my $1 million deal, I would just cut them. I would cut them out of the process because I want to get the $1 million deal and they're not helping me get it.
Yep.
So I just sideline them. And that's what happened.
Yep. Super objective. That is I like Drea. I like her.
Yeah.
some tribal councils, we go into them and I feel like, okay, I know where things lie. This one, I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on when they walked in there. I didn't know if Tori and Roxroy truly had something going as a, you know, almost the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. And fine, let's do it. We'll get through this one together. I didn't know who Romeo really had his allegiance to. It was.
Well, and it feels like Jeff usually has a pulse on the players and he can kind of like guide the conversation knowing what's happened, almost as if he's like watched the stuff or production people have talked to him about it. In this one, he outwardly just asked, it was the name of their show, what's the vibe of the tribe? And I think he was really trying to figure it out. And then he gave Drea the floor.
Yeah.
You
So
notice
it said,
that?
what's the vibe of the tribe? Drea said, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like we're just not one. We're not cohesive.
Right.
Tori agreed. It just feels off.
Yeah. It is kind of a motley crew. There's not like natural alliances forming or anything.
Yeah.
Well, and Jeff does have the unfair advantage of he's up the god in the sky watching all the camera feeds come in and stuff. And he's got a team of editors and writers sitting with him going, ask her about this, make sure to
Push
ask
that
this.
button.
He's probably got an earpiece in, so they're feeding him like, 4 people who've been watching all the cameras going, make sure you ask her about blah, blah. And then if they start to say something, do this, So, he's there to provoke things the audience wants to hear discussed in that moment at that time. And I got to admit, they do a great job of it. And he does just enough to get them talking, but doesn't make it obvious to the others why he's asking that, because sometimes he's asking stuff to kind of not necessarily reveal, but he's commenting in a subtle way on something that maybe 3 of them know and the others don't.
Yeah.
And so he never spills the bean. He never ruins someone's game, or he invites them to ruin their own game, though, I should say.
Yeah.
Well, and on previous seasons, I brought it up. There's been a lot more like people standing up and like whispering to each other in like small groups and like kind of going around the thing, getting out of their spots and like chaos. It's almost like productions told them not to do that or something, because now they're like just firing direct shots at each other. And they were obviously coming after Swati over and over again. And then I believe it was Roxroy that like actually defended her a little bit. Yeah. But it's interesting, like in the last one where, 2 people were vulnerably on the table as being voted. It was Jenny and Lydia. And you could just tell that they're like kind of beaten down because everyone's directly talking about them and the play that they're making to like get rid of them. And it was a very similar thing with this episode. It's really fascinating compared to like other seasons.
Hey, one thing, just while I'm thinking of them all sitting there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? I feel it.
Yes.
What if a whoopee could? No, no. One thing I know is every time they come to tribal, they're wearing like some clean stuff and like
it's
stuff
like
you
their
don't
formal
always see
wear.
them in. Yeah, they're formal wear, but it's like a hoodie or something.
Yeah.
I wonder if like right off camera, like if there's a closet for each tribe and they each keep like a few items and they're like, you guys are filthy and disgusting. Please throw your tribal wear on or your council wear on when you come to council, and then leave it here. We'll make sure you have a couple clean pieces.
Oh, interesting. And they don't have it back at camp?
I'm always watching for like the production side of things.
Well, they have their bag. They have their
They
bag.
do. They're packed, ready to go because they
Yeah.
might not come back. But
And like season 1, season 2, they actually got like an extra item. But
Yes.
now I think they've started like kind of being like, don't bring the extra item. We'll give you hygiene. We'll give you this. But I do think that it's mostly in that bag. Like that is their arsenal.
Mhm.
Because when it starts raining or whatever, like they need something, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but I do think that I think that there's a few like they have a couple clean items to wear.
They have like the second outfit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you
that
know
they
what they're
use
allowed to bring? Like what's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
You
I
don't
don't. That's why
yeah,
I really
nothing
want to bring a survivor on here.
personal item, but they don't anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they do anymore.
No.
Because I used to kind of develop like, what would I do if I was on the show? Like, what would I bring? And now it's not even a thing anymore.
And they don't even wear their own clothes. I remember reading that in interviews and whatever, like with John Cochran. They geeked him up. Like he's a geek, but they
They like-
style them the way that they're gonna like style the
Their
character.
character. Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
no logo. Sort of. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah. So I'd imagine like on some of this, they're like, hey, lock your knees. You know what I mean?
No, like a little more inward.
Yeah.
Right. That's good. That's good. You sure, dude? Yeah. Just keep going.
Yeah.
So they go to votes.
They
They're
do.
voting.
What happened? Someone did play their
The third one played Shot in the Dark.
yeah.
Shot in the dark.
So everybody has a shot in the dark they can use once,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this
And you're
week it
basically
was-
exchanging it.
and this week who was it?
Swati.
It was
Swati.
Swati.
Yeah.
She knew
And-
she was.
Nobody's
She
been
sacrificed
safe
her
with it.
vote.
Yeah.
And she got the shot in the dark. And she was not safe.
Denied.
Denied.
Nice.
I thought for sure she was going to be safe. I'm like, surely.
Yeah, the way
This
he like
time.
pulled it out, he like unrolls the joint and he's like, looks like nope.
But the more that are not safe, one of them's got to be safe, right? So 1 in 6. There's got to.
Yeah, I
So
guess-
now they played 3. So now it's a 1 in 3. For
Yeah,
future-
did it as
future
people get
episodes.
voted out and then they have like a shot in the dark bag for each tribe,
I don't know.
right?
Maybe.
Or is it
Or
just
maybe-
1 in 6 every time?
Maybe it's 1 in 6 every
Oh.
time. Maybe there will be no one who gets
Oh.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have
That
so
would-
many questions for Jeff.
Yeah.
Bring Jeff on.
Let's bring
Let's
Jeff on.
meet him. Let's interview Jeff. Yeah.
Yeah, this week though, I like how he read it, how he was like, rolls it up and then goes like, oh, ooh. Looks over at her. Everyone's like, what? Turns around. Nope.
Oh, I read it wrong.
You're not
Sorry.
safe.
I would be doing all that kind of stuff. Huh?
Yeah. We need to just. I wanted to get to the bottom of the shot in the dark. Like, are you saying, Greg, that maybe they put them all in a bag and then just like draw from the same pool?
So yeah, when you go to vote, that's when you pull out your shot in the dark little joint looking thing, and
Right.
then
The scroll.
I think you have to. They actually get a physical little like dice thing.
Yeah,
but
they have the dice.
I think that's just representation. It's not
Right.
the actual like thing.
Yeah, I think you trade it in for your
Yeah.
scroll. But
trade
I
it.
would love to see them step up in board
And roll.
gaming. In board
Yeah.
gaming, there's a thing called a dice tower where you like if you don't want to throw dice at a table, you can just drop it in and it hits a bunch of steps on the way down.
Yeah,
Then it
Like
rolls
Plinko.
out into a box. Yeah, like Plinko on what the heck? Price is Right.
Price is
Um,
Right.
I would love to see. Yeah, that's our dice tower right there. It looks like a
What?
little castle.
Very cool.
It's literally a little tower. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's so cool. I've never
and you
seen
put
one
the
of those.
dice, and then it just kind of plinkos around, and then it lands in there.
So
Very
I would
cool.
love to see them step
More
up
doors.
and do their dice. It would be a fun
Yeah.
drama to watch it going.
Yeah.
Gush, gush. But
Yeah.
make it super tall so it takes like 10 minutes. Like, Jesus, why did we make it so big?
I'm making a note. I'll report back next week, guys. The shot
Please,
in the
yeah.
dark. Does the scroll go back in a fishbowl, or what happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it 1 in 6 per tribe? Why is it a 1 in 6 chance? I'm gonna get to the bottom of it.
Please.
No.
Thanks.
Natalie's found in the past, like some of these survivors will go on and make like a whole blog about it, and they'll talk about all that kind of minutia.
And that's why I'm always afraid to Google anything. I'm terrified to Google Survivor when I'm watching it because I've ruined things, and it just kills me when I get information that I shouldn't have yet.
What do you mean?
information at this point
spoilers?
gives away?
Oh, you get spoilers, you find stuff. There's like stuff that kind of like hints at stuff. Plus,
Rock
there's been
Troy's
times.
just rocking around with $1 million in his back pocket. You're like, I knew he won. I
Well,
knew it.
Yeah, and on the last season, they announced the winner at Tribal. It didn't go back to the studio because of COVID,
Oh,
and so someone knew that they had the $1 million.
damn.
Oh, there was no big long wait period. Got it.
And I'm sure there's like all sorts of stuff in terms of like, if you say anything, you're gonna owe us $1 million on top of the million that we take back. That check is not good yet.
By the way.
Yeah, no going to the cash checking or check cashing place. Like, it's
Did
not
you?
good.
So the chat's kind of blowing up, but did you see that N-Dub was saying that she'd volunteer as part of the wardrobe team, specifically involving
More dreads over
more
here.
dreads? Who has dreads? Let's see. It's Jonathan. That's right.
Jonathan. Yeah.
So yeah, what once was 6 with Zach was down to 5, and now they're even with
And
the
Rock Troy
Waku tribe.
was the only one who voted for Tori, aside from Swati, obviously, but her vote didn't count.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Swati
And-
has like a little FaceTime at the end, short and sweet, and she compares herself to Boston
you.
Rob.
Thank
Hold
you for
on.
bringing that up.
Oh, it makes me hot. Like, no, girl, no.
Yeah. Oh, you're the 4th one out? Like, yeah, there's been a lot of 4th ones out that never
I
amounted to
think
anything.
there's been 42 fourth ones out.
Good point. Good point.
Just doing the math.
Yeah. And one of those is Boston Rob.
One of my favorite things on reality shows, especially some like Natalie and I will watch not Hell's Kitchen. What's the other one?
Master Chef.
Master Chef.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Every single person who gets kicked off goes, mark my words, you haven't seen the last of me. You'll be eating in my restaurant within 6 weeks or something like that. You never hear from these people.
Never.
No.
I would never announce that. Just quietly go out there and create a restaurant then. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but I
It's
just love
also
that.
like, I'm not here to make friends. That's the other one.
Yeah.
That's the classic.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now you say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All-Star Survivor. I don't know if they're gonna do an All-Star again. Oh, good. Norma came back.
Yeah, no,
People are excited for this vote.
Yeah.
Get
Are
my
we
pen
voting
ready.
Well,
hold on.
I just felt
hold on. I
bad
gotta get
last
all
week.
this ready. So
because
yeah,
last week I didn't have my paper, so this week I brought all the extra votes.
Wow. Wow.
before I
I
take
my
only
shot in
cast
the
one.
before I take us in there, is there anything else left on this episode that you guys want to talk about before we start our votes?
Oh, what about so next week I'm excited. Okay. I think my favorite players to watch are Daniel and Tori just because they're little weasels and they're constantly having to talk themselves out of the messes they create for themselves. And I'm excited. It sounds like Daniel's finally going to get called out for like nursing his shoulder so hard because now he's like swimming for fish.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
With the Hawaiian sling, another thing that I would love to try.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to know who everyone thinks is going to win because my girl Jenny's out. And so I don't have anybody anymore.
Yes, we do, Bailey.
Oh, Lindsay.
Yeah, you and I hopped on the Lindsay band.
I'm still sticking with Lindsay. I'm just reminding anybody that's new joiners that we have some bets
true.
on the table.
So yeah, Bailey and I we lost our person. But we moved to Lindsay. But we didn't lose our person as quickly as Greg lost his person.
Right. As I started watching the show, but
Zach.
Yeah.
Who's your new
Poor
person,
Zach.
Greg?
It was Daniel, remember?
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Because I like how just cutthroat he is, calmly. but
Yeah.
we'll see.
My
What
original was Marianne, but I think Drea is playing a strong game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Chanel, there's a lot that are just doing really well. Like Hai did a good move at last tribal. And yeah,
Chanel's gonna win some.
Game.
She's gonna win some individual immunities. I can tell. Assuming
Yeah,
she makes it that far.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a really good season. There's a lot of strong players.
How far do we think Jonathan's gonna go?
That's the other thing is like, when do we think the merge is going to happen? Because they're at like day 9, the last I saw, and they're only going to day 26. So we're
Right.
approaching the halfway point.
Yeah.
The next, maybe
think
not
that-
the next episode, but maybe the one after that. I'm thinking.
Yeah, the balance of the tribes is staying kind of where it should be though, because there's been like it was like 5, 4,
1 here,
5.
1 here.
Yeah, so now it's like 4, 4,
Mhm.
5. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
So my question though is, we had an episode where 2 people left still. So are we gonna
Right.
have a week where they're gonna come up with a reason why?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Mm.
No, I think they build it into the show. Because sometimes they'll have like 2 or 3 people go on like the last episode if it's like a 2-hour long thing.
That's true. That's true.
So they'll probably just kind of pull back on that a little bit. Yeah, it was too bad that Jackson went, because that would have been fun to see that play out. And
Yeah. He'll be
Yeah,
back.
but it gave us a heartwarming story. It was good. For
yeah, that's true. That's
It was
true.
good for television, for sure.
Yeah, it was a good TV move.
So in true Survivor fashion, I tried to find the fattest pen I could.
Nice. That's
I
you
went
got
to the
me.
garage for this thing.
Your
As soon
entire
as-
room is going to smell for the next 4 days.
Just gonna say, as soon as I open this up, I won't be able to pay attention anymore. So I just wanted to put that out there.
All right. So if anybody hasn't watched it before, at the end of the episode, starting last week, we decided we're going to vote someone off, but nobody is safe. Let me look at some.
Norma even came back. Norma got a vote
Yeah.
Yeah.
last week.
Norma,
And she came
Norma
back.
is she's here. Norma's catching up with us. I hear.
Yeah, I'm just
more names and
scrolling.
stuff.
Let's see.
But we're all going to what the hell, Bailey? End up once again a bit of that marker. Okay, so now we're all going to vote. Anyone is fair game that is present tonight. So that includes
Yes.
people on screen and people watching at home. So we got to vote off some.
And you're gonna cut to our confessionals, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna cut to
Okay.
each person. So
I'm
here,
gonna open it just like they do on Survivor. You ready for this?
okay. So hold on. Wait, close it, Greg. Close it.
I can write.
You're gonna reopen.
Rewind.
Here we go. There we go. Greg's gonna open his pen.
Oh yeah. This is where I'm like kind of talking to the camera. I'm like, I really wish I didn't have to do this, but it is what it is. And I have a good reason for this, because I truly wish you the best, and I hope that your ceremony goes really well. But
No,
Bailey.
don't show it. Don't show it yet. Don't
oh,
show
I
it.
can't.
Oh,
We haven't done the vote yet. You're just talking a little.
Well, that's what
okay. They sometimes reveal.
that's
So
what they
you know
do. One person holds it up. It's
Okay.
usually the first person,
Okay.
and then everyone's like, "Well, we knew that. We
Bailey's
knew
out.
that."
We're cutting the Bailey for a little bit.
Okay. I'm
Now we're going-
writing.
or Bailey's going to write, and we heard the music in the back. And we're going over to Natalie.
oh,
Natalie's writing, pretend writing.
all right. This person.
I need to
is
get some
on
kind
my-
of music. If not, we're gonna just have me doing this every.
This is so much production value.
All right. Hold on. I gotta vote this.
You gotta highlight and Bayleigh's pen compared to Greg's.
The little baby.
Yeah,
You're.
and I have big hands. This
Okay.
This pen is not messing around.
Mine will only smell for one day though, so you're
Yeah,
stuck
no, this
for
room
few.
is ruined.
Okay, are we ready to reveal? We're gonna count the votes here. So, Greg,
Can't believe I messed it up.
Greg, show us yours.
Still Bailey.
1 vote for Bailey.
Damn it.
1 vote for Bailey.
I guess it would be folded and then we
Yeah. Natalie, you want to show your vote?
Now we need to know who's the instigator.
Oh my
It's
god.
happening
It looks
here.
like we have an alliance going.
Did we blindside her?
I'm completely blindsided.
Okay.
You weren't strong enough in the challenges. You don't
I'm going to
help
show
us
mine.
now.
I'm going to show mine.
And I won't be here next week.
Norma.
Only because I feel like this is a long time coming, Norma. I've owed you a vote off for weeks. And I even put I like when they in Survivor, they like put their own emoji just to kind of show like no bad feelings, even though I just lost you $1 million. Like,
and they're like, that was me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I would
Like a
write
signature.
like so block lettery so no one could know, and I'd be like, "That wasn't me, guys." And they're like, "No, we all know. We know who did. That wasn't me." Okay, Bailey, who is it?
I really didn't want to do this, but then I saw her comments in the chat,
Oh,
and it seems that there's a little competition with Jonathan. So
oh my god!
we have
Oh.
a tie.
Oh my god.
Oh my
Coming
gosh!
for you, Norma.
Yeah.
Back
Wow.
off my man, Norma.
So what are we doing? We drawing rocks? Do we have to
Oh yeah, it's a tie.
vote round 2?
Or
Wait,
what did the-
wait, guys, hold on.
who
We
did voters
found,
vote
no,
to
no.
vote
You know what
this
it
time?
is?
we found a way out.
Oh, the chat.
Annika said she's using her mod powers and saying Norma is safe this week. Bailey, you're voted out. But wait, hold on. There's some. Guys, she votes for me for that terrible singing.
Oh, Norma.
I would call that operatic at
Yeah.
minimum. Hold on. Let's see. There's some other ones here.
Oh.
End up loving the flames. No.
Not
Norma.
Norma.
Okay. Anyone else want to vote in the chat? Now is your chance to vote.
Norma.
I can't believe there's a tie.
Okay, well, you guys, unfortunately, while I got 2 votes, Bailey got 2 votes, Norma got 2 votes. It looks like Annika saved her. So because Bailey's were on paper and on screen, I unfortunately I think Bailey's our second.
I think I'm out. It's been
We're
fun.
trying to
I'm the
smoke
next
it.
Boston Rob. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll be back
This
for
is
All-Star
episode 4.
season.
Whoa.
Gosh.
Whoa.
You know what? I just realized too. This is actually kind of good that we're voting you off because Bailey won't be here for a while. Because when she gets back, she's no longer going to be some single lady trotting around town.
She's going to be Mrs. Bailey.
Yes, she's going to be
Mrs. Hey Bailey.
Yes, Mrs. Hey Bailey. Bailey is not my last name, by the way. Hey Bailey is not my last name. Yeah, a week from Saturday, guys. I'm going back to Nebraska it's where I'm from, and I'm getting married. So I'll miss you guys, but I'll make sure I'm caught up
So
for.
excited for you.
Thank you.
Wait, how does it work? What's a Nebraska wedding? Do they just clear some of the corn and you
Yeah,
guys?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So we're all just in a circle.
farm
Yep.
style weddings.
But there's
Yeah.
like a maze to find
There's a
it.
maze to it. If you get lost, you didn't make it
Yeah.
to the ceremony. Like it's a whole thing. It's fun.
Oh, look at everyone showing love.
Oh, guys, I'm blushing. Stop. Aaron and Norma, Annika, thank you.
And Aaron's pointing
yeah.
out that I got 2 votes.
yeah.
Sorry. It's already happened.
Aaron.
I got voted out last
Brutal.
week. Yeah. Like post-mortem.
Technicality.
I think we should start every voting session with Greg has 2 votes, and then we start counting votes.
Yeah. Agreed.
No.
Oh, Endup's got a good one. We're gonna have to see a pic or 2 when you get
I
back.
got you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just
I don't know how to post pictures. Oh, I'll give them to you, Josh, and you can do the little posty thing. Yeah,
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah. And I'll add buck
Expansive.
teeth and all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
And the straw hat.
Norma, I get to keep Jonathan. All right, fine.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. Hey guys,
Thank you.
thanks everybody who came out and watched the show. For everybody in our replay crew, thanks so much. Comment, like, We didn't ask enough this episode, but those likes really help. So throw us a like. It's a lot of fun. You guys can tell I'm a little sick this week, so I appreciate you guys putting up with me, doing this. But someone's got to mute. I can hear myself. But thank you so much, everyone, for coming out. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Everyone want any other last words before we say goodbye?
This is so much fun.
This was
I
so
love the
fun.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for making it happen.
Yeah.
I love reading the chats. I usually even read them after the show just because then I can actually focus. And
Yeah.
I don't have that weird reading face that I get where I'm like,
You good?
and people are like, is he okay?
I guess I got a weird reading face.
No.
I hear you. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Congratulations,
Love
Bailey.
y'all.
Guys.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye,
Have fun.
everybody.
Bye.